fourth graders, how are you guys doing today? How are your potato experiments going? Mine doesn't have any baby potatoes on it yet, but it's still alive, so that's a good thing. So today we are going to finish the Bailey School Kids Adventure, Ghosts Don't Eat Potato Chips. Chapter 9, Yankee Doodle. Aunt Matilda was sprawled across the rumpled bed. Her face was white as a ghost. Is she dead? Melody whispered. Before Eddie could answer, Aunt Matilda slowly opened her bloodshot eyes. Of course I'm not dead, she wheezed. Eddie snickered. She's too mean to die. Lisa touched his arm and said softly, She looks pretty sick to me. Aunt Matilda grabbed her chest as she broke into a coughing fit. Jasper, Aunt Matilda gasped. Get in here. I need you. She's finally done it, Eddie said. She's gone completely bonkers. Jasper, Aunt Matilda called again. Eddie touched his aunt's hand. Uncle Jasper is dead and gone. No, he's not, Aunt Matilda coughed and pointed to the door. I hear him. All I hear is somebody whistling Yankee Doodle, Howie said softly. Aunt Matilda nodded. That's him. That's my Jasper. I think she's had one double onion doodle burger too many, Eddie mumbled. I think you need to call her doctor, Melody said. No! Aunt Matilda screamed. I can't afford a doctor. You have to go to the doctor, Eddie said. You're 6. Besides, Grandma says you have plenty of money. Aunt Matilda shook her head. That's why you have to get Jasper. He has all the money. If you won't get him, then I will. Aunt Matilda threw back the covers and stuck out her skinny legs. She's delirious, Eddie told his friends. I'm calling 911. You keep her in bed. His friends could hear Eddie racing down the steps to the phone in the kitchen. Melody grabbed Aunt Matilda around her waist and wrestled her back into bed. Hurry! Melody screamed as she threw the covers back on the old woman. Your aunt's burning up with a fever. We've got to get her to the hospital. But I'm too poor to go to the hospital, Aunt Matilda wailed. It took all the kids to hold Aunt Matilda in bed until the ambulance came. Put me down, she yelled at the medics as they slid her into the back of the ambulance. I don't want to go to the hospital. When the tall medic patted her hand, Aunt Matilda tried to bite him. I said put me down. I can't afford any hospitals. As he climbed into the ambulance, the medic glanced at Eddie. Your aunt will be fine, but she better be able to find a way to pay. Hospitals aren't cheap, you know. Eddie looked him in the eye. Don't worry, she'll pay. Lightning cracked the sky and thunder rumbled in the distance as the ambulance sped away. But Aunt Matilda doesn't have any money, Lisa said softly. Maybe Eddie's grandmother will help, Howie said. Right now, we better make sure all the windows are closed and get home. I think those clouds are ready to dump 1 billion gallons of rain. Eddie shivered and looked at the thick clouds. Then she glanced at the old house. Look, she screamed. Look in the attic window. Her 3 friends glanced up just in time to see the shadow of a man wearing a hat. Oh my gosh, Lisa screamed. It's the ghost. Chapter 10, Ghost in the Attic. It's not a ghost, Eddie said, and I'll prove it. He didn't give his friends a chance to argue. Fat raindrops spattered to the ground as they followed Eddie inside. The rain fell harder and a bolt of lightning struck close to the house. A gust of wind billowed the curtains and the front door slammed shut. Melody jumped and Lisa screamed. Then the lights went dead. Howie tried to switch. There's no electricity. Yes, there is, Eddie said quietly. There's a light coming from upstairs. It was true. A single light cast an eerie glow on the steps. Let's get out of here, Lisa whined. Melody ran to the door and pulled on the knob. The door's stuck. We're trapped inside. There's only one way to go, Eddie told his friends. Slowly he started up the steps with his 3 friends close behind him. The light led them to the open attic. The kids swatted away clean cobwebs as they climbed the attic steps. Melody grabbed Howie's arm. Do you hear that? All 4 kids stopped to listen. Creak, creak, creak. It's just the wind, Eddie told her as they continued up the stairs. When they reached the top, he pointed to the ceiling. A single light hung down from the middle of the attic. It slowly swayed back and forth, casting eerie shadows all around. Why are there lights in the attic and nowhere else? Melody whispered. It's the ghost, Lisa whispered as thunder rattled the attic window. The four kids gulped and stared down at the swinging light. Below the light sat an old trunk. Hey, that looks like the box we saw in our teacher's basement, Eddie remembered. It does, Melody agreed. We thought it was a vampire coffin. Eddie nodded to the trunk. This one's long enough for a vampire, too. Do you think Aunt Matilda keeps vampires in her attic? Shh. Listen, Melody hissed. I think I do hear something inside the trunk. Lisa smiled and covered her eyes. It is a vampire and it's coming to get us. It sounds to me more like whistling, Howie whispered. It's just the wind in the old attic, Eddie said. Come on, let's find out what's in the trunk. Go ahead, Melody said. Eddie shook his head. You look. I'm not going to open it, Melody said. We'll all count to 3 and look together. Howie interrupted. 1, 2, 3! Phew. It's just full of old clothes, Melody sighed as he opened the lid. Of course it is, Eddie said. See, this is Uncle Jasper's old hat. That's the hat we saw in the window, Howie said slowly. Have you flipped? Eddie said as he tried to put the hat on his head. Hey, this won't fit. It's probably because your head is so big, Melody giggled. No, really, look. Something's stuck under the lining. Eddie told them. He took off the hat and tugged at the material. It was so old it tore with very little pulling. All the kids gulped when they saw what was inside the hat. Chapter 11. Hats off to Uncle Jasper. Wow, Melody shrieked. There must be $1 million in here, Eddie whistled as he thumbed through the wad of $100 bills. We're rich. That's not our money, Melody told him. It's Aunt Matilda's. She doesn't even know it's here, Eddie snapped. Uncle Jasper must have hidden it. It's still hers, Howie said firmly, and she needs the money. If you think I'm going to turn over all this dough to Aunt Matilda, you've got bats in your belfry, Eddie told her. Melody shook her finger at Eddie. You're just as greedy as Uncle Jasper. How can you even think of taking money from her? She may be in the hospital for weeks, Liza said. I guess you're right, Eddie sighed. But maybe she'll give us a reward. Eddie, you're hopeless, Melody started piling the money into an empty shoebox. We're lucky the light was on in the attic, Howie said, or we wouldn't have found the hat. It's almost as if somebody wanted us to find it, Melody said slowly. Liza nodded. Jasper's ghost did. He had to help us find the money he hid from Aunt Matilda so he could rest. If he were here, we could thank him. Eddie sniggered. Miss Manners herself. Emily P. Ghost. Liza's right, Howie said slowly. Maybe we should thank him. Liza shook her head. I don't think we'll find Uncle Jasper's ghost. Why not? Howie asked. Liza shrugged. His wrong has been righted. He can rest now. Chapter 12, Coincidence. 2 months later, the 4 kids stared at Aunt Matilda's house. Looks great, Melody said. It is wonderful, Liza agreed. The old house didn't look the same. The roof was fixed and the windows were sparkling. New green paint covered the house and the shutters were a bright, clean white. The cheerful red door hung open and Aunt Matilda waved at the 4 kids. She looked much better since coming home from the hospital. She wore jeans and a t-shirt, and her gray hair was tucked under a Bailey Elementary baseball cap. Don't just stand there, she bellowed. Come in and let's play poker. Everyone laughed as they opened the new gate and walked up the steps. If it hadn't been for Jasper's hat, this house would have collapsed with the first snowflake, Melody laughed. It was lucky we found it, Howie said. That wasn't luck, Liza said quietly. Jasper's ghost helped us find it. Nah, it was just dumb luck, Eddie said. I guess you're right, Melody admitted. It was silly to think he could have been a ghost. Howie laughed. After all, ghosts don't eat potato chips.